welcome to my stables. I am the DMobo, and welcome back to Echoes of the Past. Last episode, there was a nice little tug of war going on. Sage and her siblings, well, mostly Quince, argued back and forth, and Quince finally just said, "Sage, shut the fuck up!" Everyone headed back to Gula, and Mr. Flibble and Amora are in the infirmary. Everybody else is pretty much at the house. Keith had bundled Grimiel up, put him up against the wall, and Keith is practically keeping guard of the body. Kyrish is in Kirish's room. Korric and Solus are in the Dark Ruler's room. Sage is in Eldridge's room for the fact that her mattress had been removed for when... Oh god, I can't remember what caused it. I think it was the roided out goblin, but...
Oh no, the reason Sage's mattress isn't in Sage's room, Sage didn't want to sleep alone one night, so she moved it into the same room Rhea was sleeping in.
Oh yeah, I know the effect, but I couldn't remember why she moved it in. But not all is peaceful, not all is well, for there are 3 long blood-stained clawed fiends and a large skeletal hound prowling at the barrier, which Sage would not leave alone until she was satisfied in that they were in fact safe and they were not going to break through. So, Rhea has been in the study and nothing really else catches her interest. We will speed through the last 4 hours, and a new dawn approaches. What does everybody wish to do?
Rhea will most likely be the first to wake, so she's actually going to do a nice thing for everyone and head to the kitchen and make everyone breakfast.
Wow.
Mainly because of what she wrote in that journal and everything. Even though she's been comforted that it's not going to happen, she still has the nagging feeling that guards are going to be knocking on that door any second, so she just wants to treat the party before she's potentially dragged away.
As everybody awakens, there is a savory scent of food and coffee being made.
Coffee.
Eggs, toast, bacon, some sliced ham, potatoes. All of these aromas are wafting through the house.
Man, Sage wasn't gonna go for food, but she goes for coffee. Absolutely, shuffles out of the room, appears in the kitchen, probably doesn't even make noise, just gets a cup of coffee, and disappears again.
Morning, and there she goes.
Coffee.
Darling crawls out from your scarf, and he is going to nag some toast. And he is going to flitter back over your shoulder. One leg standing on your shoulder, and the other one holding his toast up as he nibbles it. Oh my god, it nibbles it!
You know bread is bad for you, buddy.
Fine, it's seeded bread. He'll be able to eat the seeds.
I don't care if it's a rotting carcass. It's food at this point.
Bread is bad for birds.
So is not enough sleep for humans.
I got enough sleep.
I call bullshit.
I call bullshit on you.
You know what? I call bird shit. And he's gonna
Don't.
hover, and he is going
I know that look in
to
your eye.
he is going
Darling!
to try and shit on you. Roll a reflex save to see if it misses.
This is what happens when we've not had Head East in the sessions for too long. She's got to find other means for it.
That's an 18 on the die plus 4. Where are my stats? Plus 4. Yeah. So 22.
You see him turn around and lift up, and you jolt forward a bit. Roll a balance check.
I swear if ah, that's not good. That's a 5.
You managed to miss the poo, but half of your coffee splooshes on the floor. So,
Ah!
Rhea, from where you're at, you can clearly hear the splat of bird droppings and the spillage of coffee upon the floor.
You fucking damn it, bird!
Korric,
Ah!
Korric and Kyrish, you hear muffled cawing into the slowly getting louder yelling of Sage.
God damn it! That might have worked before, but I know all your tricks again. I'm gonna cast prestidigitation and just clean it up.
Thank you.
God, you can shove back to the kitchen and refill my coffee. Yeah, dumb bird.
Good job I made extra.
Stupid human.
Thank you, Rhea. Fuck you, darling.
Fuck you too, Sage.
What
He's going to
is going
eat.
on out here?
Kyrish,
Darling is-
you poke your head out, and Lux has her head level to your cheek, also curious. You see a very sleepy and angry Sage refilling a cup of coffee, and you see Darling staring very intently at Sage while slowly eating the piece of seeded bread.
This is what I get for trying to look out for you. The health of my familiar. God, hi, Kyrish. Hi, Kyrish. Can we? I'm gonna go. I got books.
Huh. Right. You two again. Okay, I'm just going to it.
Suppose you're not used to this by now.
Looks at you, Kyrish, in between those two. I'm really glad we don't fight like they do. At least we get somewhere with our conversations.
Well, to be fair, you really couldn't fly away from me. Ring your neck if you ever did something like that. Anyways,
It's not like I can get very far anyway.
fair. What happened yesterday? Everything's a bit of a blur.
After you started zoning out after we found Inorla, not much we managed to get her back to the infirmary place where they're housing up everyone. So she's still there recovering. She thinks back to that scar that her and Riku saw. You may want to have a word with Riku on that subject, though. We found a unusual scar on her last night. Kind of blackened, but with that moss green energy.
Oh, lovely. Alright.
But not before breakfast.
You know what? I can actually agree on that statement. Alright, let's eat. Rhea, you've done a wonderful job here.
Yeah, I needed something to preoccupy the mind.
Yes, yesterday was interesting.
interest is not the word I'd use for it, but yeah. She just like says between sips of her tea. Does she always like this? Sage, I mean, given that you used to live with her originally here.
Off and on. Depends.
Just as far I know, everyone calls me the more reckless one, but I started to see it turn her a lot more recently.
Well, sad. Interesting occurrences in the past make her that way.
Now she has her memories back as well.
Oh. Oh.
You really did sound out yesterday if you forgot that.
I really did.
There was the
Yeah,
bright
that
flash,
could be why that she does then.
yes, there was the bright flash, she collapsed, I told Istro to get her back to the healing tent before the whole fight went down, so it has to be her, surely. Either that or Korric's just good at really keeping quiet about this kind of thing.
That's doubtful. Come on, really?
Hey, never know, I'm still pretty sure there's something more that we're not seeing there.
Kyrish just kinda looks around. Aha, right. Well, regardless. Hey.
By the sounds of it as well. Not much we need to do today since everyone else is still recuperating, so I'm guessing today's just trying to make sense of everything that's happened before we move on.
Yeah. That's good enough.
That stuff is going to come to Rhea's mind. Something that was mentioned the last time they were in this house. Oh shit, she has her memories back. Last time we were here, she said we wouldn't discuss it again until she had them back. And remembering the words as well that Riku told to her last night. She's just going to take a long drink of her tea.
Lux looks to you after trying to, after swallowing some meat. They
Oh,
really
yeah, no,
do.
I found one of those little desert rats around and prepared it for you. I know how snakes usually are.
Her head rises up and her tail flicks in that excited manner. And she kind of like sits and stares at you, waiting for it.
She'll offer it up, just like holding it by the tail to get a bit of motion in it, before, as you would do for feeding a snake.
You see Lux start to like shrink as she contracts, and you see her open her jaws, and you can actually see that the fangs, with Lux being so small, you weren't able to see her fangs before, but you can see that these fangs, not only are they bigger to an appropriate proportion to her size, but roll spot check.
Roller. $31.
You're focused on where the mouse is to where in relation to Lux's head, and as Lux goes to strike, as she comes closer, They're small little barbed. Like, her teeth are almost barbed. Serrated, almost. As she grabs a hold of the mouse and slithers underneath the table.
It's just one of those things where once you've on the stake, you know that you just can't offer them up just like the normal dead rat. You got to make them dance first before they'll take it.
Kyrish, through your bond, you feel satisfaction.
It has been time we've had anything.
What was that, sir?
Oh no, Kyrish was talking to.
What was that? Sorry, I said.
God damn, I forgot about that.
As she will lazily climb up your leg and lazily put herself on the table out of everybody's way and just kind of lazily loop around like you would with a cinnamon icing on a bun. And you see the bulge of where the mouse is. And she looks over to Kyrish. You know, for being in the Suns, it's actually not quite that bad. But also, those two do need to get a room, my gods.
I'm just going to take your word for it.
Don't knock it until you try it.
No, you're hilarious. I'd rather not.
Yeah, suit yourself. More for me then.
I appreciate it, lot. Enjoy.
Darling's gonna come down and also sit on the table.
Ah,
Oh,
he
you're
left.
back.
He didn't come with me, no.
And Kyrish, you hear half of the conversation, and it's basically just Lux and Darling shit talking on Sage and Rhea.
Oh.
You know, if I could learn magic, I would have learned speak with animals right around now.
Or even tongues.
You know, you really don't need to do that. It's fine, you know?
They
I know
You
it's
get
fine, but
connotations with this alone.
I mean, I know it's fine given I normally have a translator penguin, but he's also holed up in the hospital right now.
Well, you really don't need to know. It's fine.
would be a sense motive.
No, that's a 5. I don't know shit. Says Morty, one of the things I've not actually found ranks into, so therefore I only get a +2.
The animals keep talking. Like,
She says that
there's nothing.
I do have to ask the morbid question right now, though. Grimeel,
The chatter
What are
dies down and they just look at each other.
what are we going to do with him? I know they said give it a while before the burials, but can't just keep a body here. I know that's key line of work, but still.
You can put it in the dump.
Ah, you're awake.
That's the first thing you say.
Turns out he's been there for 10 minutes just waiting.
Small people don't get noticed.
Lux and Darling look to each other, look to Korric's direction. Darling caws something, and Lux slowly nods her head in agreement.
What do you want then? Coffee? Tea? What food?
Some food and tea, I guess.
She'll hand it down to Korric. There you go.
Thank
Special
you.
Lily and blend that I usually keep on me.
Lux will bring her tail up to the corner of her mouth and go, "Oh, fancy."
Pretty sure the animals are shit talking me at this point, but I've got no.
They are, but they're just fun.
I mean, I would complain, but quite literally the little animal that follows me around keeps threatening everyone with death, so I've got no room to talk.
You know, that's a very good point. What is that creature's deal? What is going on there?
From what I understand, when he was inside me, he was my representation of rage. The fuel driving my anger, essentially. So, with him now being physical, I guess he's still that, just in a more physical representation, which would explain that whole transformation. But even then, I'm still not sure how he made it out. Something about when I was in that bubble and the sword struck the dragon and me at the same time. It's very confusing, but that's what happens when you're dealing with god magic, I guess.
Yeah, right. It really is just a little bit, just a little bit.
Speaking of, if I recall right, the sword's only 20% charged. We're gonna need a bit extra charge before we're ready.
Right. Right.
On the plus side, there's evil creatures banging on the barrier.
There's what now? And he perks up, like he's instantly awake.
Eh, some of these four-armed... Were the four-armed creatures the same kind of ones that attacked Kyrish before? Or are they different ones?
They are two-armed, and
Okay,
they
cool.
are completely different.
Yeah, some odd little monstrous goon things just outside the gates. Not really sure of their species, but nothing we can't handle. That's if they're still there anyway. They were there last night.
Why aren't they taken care of?
Because the barrier's up, they can't get through.
The city.
The city is still recovering, Kyrish.
Yes. Rhea, we can't just. Why would we leave those things?
Ah, that's the thing. Initially, we weren't going to leave those things. Sage was all up for fighting them last night.
Ah.
If I recall right, it was Ishtok himself that told us not to.
What?
Was it Ishtok that told us not to? It was either Ishtok or Riku. I'm trying to remember which of the two it was.
It was Ishtok. And then
I was
Riku emphasized that everybody needs rest.
Essentially, but Ishtok told us not to do so. Riku said we needed rest. So we didn't fight them because Ishtok said the barriers hold up. Also, speaking of Ishtok's been in here.
When have we ever listened to anyone's advice?
When some of us are carrying people that are on death's door, it's easier to listen to advice.
Fine. Wait, how was he stalking you?
Apparently he was given a key or something. Something about his promotion. She's gonna hand over the letter that she saw in... Was it the room or the study that we saw? It was in the room, yeah. She'll just hand that over to Kyrish.
In very poor common with backward E's, R's, and S's, improper capitalization, and no punctuation. It essentially says, I redid the room because having the bad guys stuff in here previously wouldn't do for a good feeling, but all the magic stuff is there for you, for Master Kyrish and Lady Sage to throw away. And with Gramil giving me Captain of the Royal Guard, I was able to come in. And Ishtok is spelled Eeshtock.
That's not right.
It's not.
Interesting.
This is where Sage runs in, takes the letter, grades it, and hands it back to Ishtok.
I think it is about now that Sage comes in, gets a second cup of coffee, and just leaves again.
You're not staying to talk, or?
Food later. Doing books.
Sage, what are you up to?
Books,
Why do
apparently.
you say that like you expect me to explode something?
Because usually that means you're up to something that you don't want to tell everyone.
Just kind of rubs my hand down the face. I'm looking through the rooms for hidden things.
Hidden things.
Did you say rooms or
What?
runes?
Room, as in place of a
Oh.
building.
Darling,
In that case, we can rule out the study. I checked that last night and couldn't find anything.
With all due respect, I'm going to check again. The
darling,
first cup of coffee was for spells. Now it's search time.
Darling, Lux, and Solus all look at each other, and in one synchronized nod, Solus will go to the toward the entrance of the hallway, and he lifts up and up to where he's barring Sage's way, but not enough to knock Korric off. Lux will basically pull at the back of your shirt and scarf and coat, and Lux will slowly start making her way down to Sage's feet.
When the animals have to tell you it's time for an intervention.
You know,
It's
darling,
okay.
I appreciate the help. Can you tell them to fuck off? I look at Darling, and then I look at Kyrish, and I look at Korric.
You feel much confusion, and a confused grunt can be heard from Darling, knowing full well he can't say shit to them.
I have coffee. Why do I need to stay here?
Sage, we can do it together. Just take a moment. For all of us, please.
Fine.
Oh, you're burning yourself out so fast already.
I'm not burned out. I just have an idea of what needs to get done, and finally the capacity to do it.
Yes, you always have an idea that needs to get done right here, right now, right as soon as you say it needs done.
Don't come for me like this!
But no, it doesn't. Just take a breather.
Like, go and lean against the counter with the coffee and just kind of look displeased.
You lean very far, and it's not a natural lean, for you can't bend your knee, because when you look down, there is a Lux wrapped around your ankles.
Will you please tell your snake that I'm not going to make a break for it in my own fucking house?
Oh, just like she wasn't going to make a break for it in Liba.
What did she say? Why are you laughing?
Oh, nothing. Lux understands you.
Lex, I'm going to lean that just... Oh, please let...
She looks up at you, and there is a very angry look, like, very, not pouting, but not more of a, no, very indignant, angry looking snake looking up at you.
I'm going to talk to a snake on my leg. Go. I'm talking to a snake on my leg, asking it to please let me go. What does my life come to? Please, just...
I am not your normal peasant snake. How dare you? Can I bite her?
Oh, wait. Look. There's peasant snakes out there?
Well, obviously,
What?
I'm a better snake because I
What is
am.
that?
I am a higher snake than all the other normal snakes slithering about. I am a familiar. That makes me
I mean,
automatically better.
sure, but peasant?
Yes,
Really?
peasant. They are
It is
peasants.
so weird. I look at Rhea and goes, "Is this how I sound when I'm having a conversation with Darling and you can only hear one side of it?"
Pretty much.
You can't understand what he's saying, though.
Well, yeah, I can understand you, but not the snake.
No, you can't understand Kyrish.
No, if
Remember?
Kyrish is speaking to Lux, it's also
Ah,
his.
fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
They both sound insane.
Oh, just
Pretty
like
much
you,
what happens
except
when you
also in common.
kind of what happens when you speak to Darling.
Yeah.
When I speak to Darling, I use magic, and I can't help if it sounds like bird noises.
Kyrish can't help if it sounds like snake noises when speaking with Lux.
I just. This is so much.
So, Kirish, tell
Bitch.
this woman that she's going to take a mental break, whether it's through her own will or not. Because I'll bite her, I'll do it. I will knock her ass out.
Fine, it is fine. I am working on it, sort of. Trying to, it's very hard. Just patient. Yes?
There's a tiny little snake burp.
The hell was that?
I think your snake's gonna bite me. Darling, if she bites me, you have my permission to go at her.
You realize we're all in this together, right?
What did I do to you to deserve this?
You're not taking a mental break. Riku's right. You suck at listening to each other.
Yeah. I want to say that we don't have time. But I think you'll just think up a counterpoint for that. We don't have time, and my brain doesn't break, and you should know this.
He's going to bap you upside the top of the head
Ah.
with his wing.
Deserve that.
There's always going to be time.
Will you just land and let me give you scritches? If I'm going to be trapped here, at least I want to give you scritches.
Fine. And he lands on your shoulder and kind of like fluffs himself a little bit.
There, I'm relaxing. Are you guys happy?
That's questionable.
I mean, it has been pretty go since we woke up in that cave. Torture building place.
It has. It's been very go, as you say, for a very long time. Pretty much
But-
since we woke up.
Good just to have a day to ourselves.
First off, let's worry about the hounds outside, yes?
Thank you! Thank you.
Worry
And you've
about
reminded
those.
us.
What'd you say?
They need to be dealt with,
They do need to be dealt with.
regardless. We can't just leave them there.
That's if they're still there.
Well, it's a good chance to charge the sword.
If they're not, I'm concerned as to where they went in the city.
I knew I should have left Darling out there to keep watch.
Did you remember Ishtak's words? Why are you this? Should have been inside.
I think whatever came might have been undead.
What?
Maybe those who fell. outside the walls at some point. Ishtok seemed to recognize them.
Makes sense. Given the big battle that happened out there, there's obviously going to be some bodies left.
You think they're corpses of what was?
I don't know what to think. I
Well,
kind of
until
hoped
just
I would remember more about necromancy when things finally came back, but it was the one school that I didn't really study.
I mean, if we remember the last time we were out there, quite, it wasn't even Ishtok's friend's body wasn't even not down and dead for half an hour or so before it was brought back. Does it take long to raise a body?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Regardless of where they came from.
Not them
Is
anymore.
everyone eaten?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Can I go back to... Can we go look now? It won't be long. I just...
Look for what? We need to clear these things out.
Yes, but... You remember now, and I remember now. Which means we both remember. The Eldridge was... She kind of gestures at the house and goes... I wouldn't be surprised if he had secrets laying about here, and I'm not about to leave a stone unturned, especially if it could be something useful to our fight.
Sage, of course he did. He was made. They just have the secrets. We'll find them. However, let's deal with the threat at hand first.
Okay,
Yes?
I only stayed and didn't cause a ruckus because you promised that I would be able to go at least, like, give me 15 minutes. Just, please. They
Sage,
waited all night.
we need to actually... No, we need to take care of these. They're in the city limits.
No, they're outside the bubble.
They're on the
That's a
outside.
bit close for comfort, don't you think?
Yes.
Sage.
Yes.
Oh, my bad. I thought they were actually
In the city.
outside
Oh, no.
the house.
Oh,
No,
if
no,
they're outside-
no. If they were outside
they're
the
out-
house, it'd be on
That's why I
lockdown.
was freaking out. Okay.
If they're outside the house, I think they would have been dealt with by now with the 4 hours they had left.
See, that's why I was like, why the fuck does nobody want to take care of this?
Yeah, that's fair.
Oops.
We can blame it. We can blame it on early morning mindset.
Korric, are you up yet?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can feel it. He's there.
Solus just kind of gives an indignant bark, who's still
Oh,
barring
also,
the hallway.
Solus, I knew you were there. I didn't. Korric for some.
Also, this one's for you, Solus. She'll toss him like a big piece of meat.
As Korric, do me a ride check.
22.
You've been with Solus long enough that you know when he's about to jump, and from his somewhat upright position, he launches himself up and a little bit forward, and almost with just ease, you just grab by his shoulders to keep yourself on. And everyone else sees Solus launch himself into the air, and Korric doesn't even lift up a little bit off of Solus's back as Solus expertly nabs the meat from the air, sits down, and starts happily nomming on it.
Sure. Why not?
Well then, you're quite adept at that. Would you want to help me take care of this?
What did that say?
Kyrish speaking to Korric.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Rhea? Anyone?
What, sorry?
The creatures outside the bubble?
The-
Yeah, we can go
Got
to
it.
anyone.
Oh, I was about to say. Sage, could you not send Darling out to scout, see if they're still there or not?
Oh yeah.
That way, if need be, if they're not still outside of the barrier, we should be fine. Unless
Right.
they're in the barrier.
Lift them off my shoulder and go, "You got all that?
He nods,
Cool.
and
Take a minute," I say in our secret language that no one can understand. I want a chance to actually look for what I'm fucking looking for, okay?
he kind of just cocks his head. What are you trying to look for anyway?
Secrets. I think I gotta do this.
And you're
It's
not
been nagging
going
at me.
to tell me what those secrets are?
I don't know what those secrets are. I just have this nagging feeling that we might have missed something.
I mean, I think you should at least wait for Kyrish. I mean,
He'll be here with me while you're gone. And then when you come back, we can go deal with whatever you see.
alright. And he's going to lift off and hover towards the kitchen window. And
I'll
kind
open
of
it for him.
taps on it. And with the farewell call, he flies out into the warm desert sun. And he flies off. Lux unwraps herself around your ankles. And Kyrish, you see her start to coil herself up. And she springs upward like a spring and lands on Sage's bag. And near the end of her tail, there's the final little bit of the bulge left from her breakfast. And she coils herself up on her shoulder.
Can I help you?
She just waves her tail as in a hi. And then she looks around. Oh, I'm still quite short. And then she's going to, kind of slinky her body up to the top of your head. I'm still way too short. But it's actually quite nice and warm up here. And she's gonna coil herself on top of your head.
Just in the mass of hair. Like, I think Sage looks slightly panicked. Looks at Kyrish going, I don't deal with reptiles much. Is this normal?
Don't mind her. She'll have a nice warm spot.
So is this proof that Sage is actually hot-headed?
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that is hilarious.
What'd
And
you
I am
say?
never telling her that.
Kyrish, why are you laughing?
What? Nothing?
Why are you laughing?
I didn't know. I don't believe I'm laughing. Be interesting connotation from the language you can't understand. Yes.
Fine, I'm gonna go back to Aldridge's study. I'll be back. Okay.
There you go. She
Sage,
just take a
what
long sip. Oh,
are you looking for?
not that too.
Honestly, I don't know.
Maybe we could help them?
No, we can certainly help.
You're welcome to lend an eye. I want to do sweep. I got my mind back now, and
Speaking of, when you're ready to talk about that, we're ready to listen.
there's not much to talk about.
No, but
Oh, I call
It's nice to
bullshit
get-
on that one.
it's nice to get everyone on the same page.
I mean, has Kyrish even had a chance to talk?
Just only look to Kyrish and be like, that's a
What?
good point. I think we've like heard tidbits, like little bits, but not fully. Like I know when
Oh.
me and Bird found out, we spilled our guts about what we knew. I mean, it took a while for me to manage to get the time to do so, but still. If there's any day where we're gonna have the time to do so, today is.
I told you all bits of it. Indeed did spy for Big Baddie, as it were. But I did it as a way of subterfuge.
You were a double agent.
Indeed. You see,
Sage
he
kind of
had,
smiles in a, I thought that might be the case way.
he had destroyed my home, as many of our homes have gone. And it took me quite a few years to get to that point, but finally made that decision. Not really upset that I've done it, to be honest. Best.
Well, I don't think any of us are in a position to judge your past.
No, none of us are in a position to really judge any of our past. Should we be?
I don't think so.
Alright then.
I mean, always looking on the brighter side of things. Means more information on the enemy.
You probably have a pretty good idea of the layout of this castle, don't you?
Like the back of your hand.
She just looked to Sage with a raised eyebrow, like, weren't you literally there?
I only saw some of it.
That's fair.
He just has a bit of a pain look on his face. But he nods his head.
I know it's probably not happy to think about.
No, of course it's not. Why should it be? Not a pleasant prospect. We all did what we thought we had to do.
Cheers for what it's worth. Now that I do kind of remember. I'm sorry that we knew each other and then didn't.
You're sorry that we knew each other?
And then didn't. Yeah, after
And we-
Eldridge died, I ran and
Oh, that.
I'm sorry that it took until Gondra. You should have had other options than took the
Sage,
feathers.
you don't need to apologize. Understand?
Too late, I just
I
did.
understood quite a few years ago.
But thanks.
All is well.
You just finish off a tea with a smile. Oh, that's sorted out for the most part. Some part at least. She'll look
As sore as it'll get.
She'll look to Sage. Like she's about to say something before just shaking her head. And, right, what is it we need to look? Which rooms are we going to take?
The study. Eldridge's bedroom.
And
Out of respect,
the room with all the blood.
was it the room with all the blood where it been tidied up?
That would have been Mithrin's room. That would have been where Korric stayed, but the blood has been cleaned out.
Right.
Well, that room's been tidied up, so it might be a bit easier to search now.
Oh, that reminds me, actually.
Hmm?
Did one of you take the tattoo gun?
I believe Kyrish has it still.
Do you mind if I take that back?
Oh, yeah, sure. Should have it, yes.
Thanks.
Digs around his bag. Wow, we have a lot of shit we've acquired in a very short amount of time. Oh, here it is. There. Pulls it
Thank
out and hands it over.
I will just disappear it into my coat.
I heard that wrong and heard that you yourself disappeared into your coat.
I disappear into my coat.
This is where we find out Sage's coat doubles as like a turtle shell.
There's just a Lux just hanging around the scarf like, guys.
Cool.
After you hand Sage the gun, there is a knock at the front door.
Ah, god damn it.
Oh shit. I'll get it. Probably for me. And her expression has changed to something a bit more sullen now. From that. As she goes to the door, takes a deep breath and opens it. Expecting the worst.
You open the door, and there is Keith. Bloodstained. No expression on his face. And he holds out the sword.
Rhea's just gonna like slowly blink at this. It's just trying to take it all in, then looks down to the sword.
Rhea, who is it?
It's a bloodstained Keith with the sword.
What?
No.
Is the sword more than 20% charged now?
It is 60% charged.
We're at 60% charge now.
No, good work, Keith.
Keith, are you okay?
Whose blood is that? Yeah.
I'm assuming not Keith's. And if it is yours, Keith, get to the medical area. Get
Now.
yourself seen to.
It's not mine.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go beyond the barrier?
Each talk wanted help, and you were all sleeping.
Is he okay?
I don't
Mhm.
sleep. But sure.
Are you well?
You seem out of it.
He just looks at you, Sage. And he just looks dead behind the eyes.
Remember we were saying we need this day to ourselves and all that lot, Keith? Rest. You've done enough.
It's Camille, isn't it?
He slowly blinks.
Sorry. My fault.
It's not.
One who...
Let's not waste time with just blaming each other. Alright?
Just... Actually, I think it's more a case of we're all blaming ourselves at this point, but still. Just come in, get yourself cleaned up, get some rest. You've earned it at this point. You deserve.
More than deserved.
Nah. They're still part of a dog, and one of these things up still.
We'll take care of it, Keith. Just get some rest.
He looks to you, and his head slightly tilts to the one side.
Go. Rest, please.
But we have training we need to do.
Keith, you're going to be no use to me teaching me anything in this state. At least get a short
Training?
rest.
Training can wait until the afternoon. Let the morning be for rest.
He raises an eyebrow. I accept that challenge.
Sure, we'll go with that.
But he will go past and go into the bathroom where you can start to hear the water run.
Good.
What, does he drown himself to go to sleep?
He's probably taking a shower given that he's covered in blood.
Ah, alright, fair enough.
Well, if that's taken care of, and immediately just sidling out towards the back of the house with the where the rooms that she wants to look at are.
Right. Let the search begin, I guess.
Let the search begin.
Sage and Rhea are searching. Korric and Kyrish, what do you want to do?
Going to go take care of the doggos, I guess.
Kyrish and Korric, you leave the house. And the streets are quiet. But the sun is bright and warm upon your faces. And the sky, you know that you're underground, but for some weird magic allows you to look up as if you're not underground. And you start walking to the entrance. Sage and Rhea, what rooms are you looking for first? What rooms are you looking into first?
I'm starting with Aldrich's room where I slept.
I'll check out the same room.
You enter, and there's the two mattresses on the floor. And
Oh, I should probably give you a heads up for fair warning as well, quickly, Sage.
Hmm.
Korric stayed in here last night.
no, you stayed in.
I
No.
slept in here last night.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong. Oh yeah, no, you were the. Never mind. Thinking wrong rooms.
We'll get there. And I'm going to start with a detect magic spell.
Yeah, you are overloaded. There is magic coming from everywhere in this house.
God, it's like a migraine, an instant migraine.
Detect magic flashbang.
Okay. Can I parse out what things belong to what auras belong to what things? Like anything that I wouldn't expect to be magical.
Concentration check.
I think I'll be okay. Let me check my skills. I rolled pretty high though. I think I've been putting things into concentration. Yeah, that's a 17 plus 8.
So
25?
You're able to focus, and There's only one thing that's magical in this room, and that is the nightstand that is holding the picture of Eldritch holding a baby Hadwin that is freshly hatched out of her shell.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll go give that a very thorough search check.
As you go to touch the nightstand, you are lightly zapped, like static electricity zapped by overcast gray magic.
Is there a way to get around this without casting Dispel Magic?
Knowledge Arcana.
Dice are being less nice on that one, but I have a lot of points in Knowledge Arcana, so let me just check how many. Yeah, I rolled a 3, so that's a 12.
Your only thought is to try and dispel the magic on this nightstand.
Stupid. Rhea, stand back. I don't know what dispelling it's gonna do. Hopefully nothing.
Hey,
I will cast Dispel Magic on the nightstand.
Purple forms around your hand and goes over the nightstand, and as it tries to go through it, overcast gray magic comes up and swallows the purple, and you hear, "Shame on you, shame on you." And and then the gray goes back into the nightstand.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I need to nerd out. It sounds like the fucking Nedry thing in Jurassic
Yeah.
Park when he goes,
Yep.
you did
That's
say the literal
exactly where I
magic
pulled
words.
that from.
Oh, I love you.
I'm glad you do.
Damn it, Eldritch. My master was very good at magic, and it's very annoying.
You feel Lux get off of your head, down your shoulder, and kind of mini launches herself onto the nightstand. And she just coils up and just lays there. And there's a very content look on her face. But she is not being zapped.
Narrow my eyes. Okay. Hey, Lux, you want to try to get in there for us?
She shakes her head no.
Oh,
And
come on.
she will dangle her tail down onto the handle and try to pull, but it does not open.
I guess more a case of it's locked.
She shakes her head no.
Oh, come on. I never get to use open and close. What is in here? This is why I look at Rhea. This is why I had to come look. He has secrets.
Everyone has secrets, Sage.
Wait a second.
What?
And Sage's entire posture changes. She crosses her arms and uncrosses them, runs a hand through her hair, and goes, "Why is his magic still working if he's dead?"
Arcana.
18.
Even though that the person may have died, if it is a curse, enchantment, whatever, unless it is magically broken, it'll still last, which is why the house went on lockdown even though he died. It's why the door can still only be opened by yourself and Kyrish.
Okay, that tracks. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be that lucky.
Were you thinking that he was still...
I won't lie, part of me hoped. He was a good man.
He was just not slowly. Yeah, it's understandable.
Alas. Okay, this isn't opening, and I am not going to try another spell because that's the definition of insanity. And I'm reticent to just blast it open, so I'm going to make a mental note that this is here. I'm gonna try to open it just one more time. She just like impulsively reaches down and tries.
As you
I'm
reach
going to
for
leave it alone.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Ah!
You reach for it again, and it is a stronger zap that
Ow.
greets your hand.
I get it. God damn it. Master.
Maybe the secrets that he didn't want anyone knowing.
Then why leave it in a nightstand in the middle of the room?
Lux thumps her tail on the nightstand and just has a very smug look on your face, Kyrish. Even though you're far away from the house, you feel what is that? Like, haughtiness? Like, aha, I'm better than you. Or, aha, I can't do something you can't do. I don't know what that emotion is.
Kyrish just smirks and he looks to Korric. I have a feeling there's going to be some distinct occurrences at the house today.
I shouldn't have sent Darling away.
It's fine. Darling will be in the same area as they are. So the same thing that's happening between Lux and Kyrish, what I'm assuming, given that look on Lux's face, can also happen between you and Darling, can't it? It's a good little two-way relay, so we
She
know what's
knows
happening with
something.
them.
She knows something and she's not telling us.
Her face changes from smug to really.
We can come back to this one later, Sage. Let's make a mental note of it.
Lux will stick out her tongue and spring back onto the top of your bag and just kind of just sit there.
I hate this.
Looks up at you, gives you the cutest little snake smile she can muster, and stick out her tongue just a little bit.
I hate this. I'm so mad right now. This is. Fine. Let's go to the study.
Alright. Maybe being around books will help calm you down a bit.
As
If you think books are a calming source, you clearly have never studied magic. I have yelled at more books in my life than I have yelled at people.
She's gonna look to Sage and be like, because I've not studied magic. I'm not magical. I have no need to study magic.
It's a saying! It's just a saying. Yes, I know. I should be able to figure this out.
Lux springs over to Rhea on where the sword should be, but lands on the belt and crawls up onto her shoulder. And Lux kind of just gives Sage some side eye.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that too.
Kyrish, through your bond, you feel harsh judgmentalness.
Yeah, to the study we go.
As you go into the study, Sage, through your bond with Darling, you feel amusement.
At the others or like at me?
You just feel amusement, period.
This is having a better time than I am.
the study. You go into the study, the room filled with books, organized by school of magic, organized by topic if it's not magic related, all in alphabetical order via book title. And you notice that there are a few books missing, but you know that those books were what Rhea grabbed from your last time here. Is there something in particular you are looking for?
I mean, contrary to what Sage told Rhea, she definitely relaxes just the instant they get through into the library because this is familiar. And it has been too long since she walked into this room in the proper state of her mind. I mean, Sage just has a minute of remembering the countless hours in this room, studying.
You're already looking better.
Sage turns away before anybody can see the blush. And just kind of runs a hand along one shelf of books and goes, I'm less worried about secrets in this room, but it's worth looking for.
I mean, I would be as well, but the last time, well, the second to last time I was here, given I was in here last night and didn't find anything, I found out the whole thing about my goddess. And also that book that had all the runes in. But I didn't know what that was until later.
Right. Alright, first things first, detect magic.
Oh no, here she goes again.
All of the waves, all of the magics. Concentration.
Yeah. I should just see.
You, as Sage brings a hand up to her head, Rhea, in your ear, you can hear Lux
20.
hissing. 20?
20.
All right.
30,
You hear Lux hissing, and you don't need Kyrish to translate. You can tell that Lux is hissing, is laughing at Sage.
You okay there?
I'm good. It's just, imagine. Oh god, there's not even a good comparison. It's like trying to sort out a single person from a crowd that you're seeing 100 feet away. You could do it, but god, it takes some focus.
I mean, probably less focus for me, but I think that's just Elvins.
Alright, 30-20. What do I got?
You close your eyes, and as you talk, all the auras kind of focus in on themselves. There's a couple books that are magical, but you know that these are basically school books from the schools of magic you've already seen. But there is... but nothing out of the ordinary. But that magical feeling that you get, your feet kind of itch with that familiar magical tingle.
What does that imply? Like it's just really magic in here, or there's something to look for?
There is something to look for.
Then we're gonna look for it.
Roll me a spot check.
Both of us, or?
Just Sage, since she hasn't said anything about it.
Yeah, Sage just goes about this. Doesn't roll great. 13.
You remember the house being a lot bigger than what you've seen.
Yeah.
And you're trying to remember how that is. You always remember that your master would push something, but you can't remember what it was and you can't remember where it is. So you start looking around and you can't see shit. Everything looks normal.
Oh, it's here. I remember it. It was bigger. It was.
You got that?
Sage goes absent-minded professor mode very quickly and kind of looks up, remembering and realizing that, oh yeah, you're here.
Ouch.
And then you can like almost see her making the connection of, oh, you're here. And she points at you and goes, secrets.
Secrets?
Yeah. So, he starts pacing. Eldred used to do this thing, and it made the house big. There are other rooms here. I know it. I think that's what's been itching at me this whole time, is I remember them being here, and we haven't seen them, and there was something, I think in here that he did to unlock them, and I just can't remember what it is.
Right.
Look, we gotta look. You help me look?
First things first, you're saying that this house is bigger than what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
That it all links back to here.
Well, this is at least an access point.
Alright, I can see if I can spot anything that looks out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Spot check.
Yes.
Sage, it's time for you to be very happy with this nat 20.
Yes!
Jesus. Rhea, you look around and you examine the bookshelves, how they're made. They're very uniform. Nameplates etched with what is what. They all look identical. You look against the grain of woods. It looks identical. The shelves look identical. You move onto the wall. There's nothing wrong about the walls. You look to the door. Nothing wrong with the door or the doorway. The only thing that's left in here is the floor and the table. You go onto the floor, you can't see anything, and then you get to the table. What looks like to be an older looking chair. Still in good condition, but you can tell it's older for the faded wood. There are 4 chairs in here, and each one is a different stage of fading. And the older one is closest by the lamp. You look by the lamp, and you look around the chair, and there it is, right under the lip. Whereas there is the table about an inch from the corner, that is where the table leg is. And in that corner, in between the space and where the leg is, there is a small, small button. It looks like a knot in the wood, but it is raised just enough to not be a knot. For you know trees better than anyone here. Possibly your equivalent would be Korric. And you know that knots do not form a small bump up.
I was gonna look towards this button and then just whisper to Lux. Should we tell her or should we just press the button right now and see what happens?
Lux will tap the table with her tail.
I'm assuming that I'm gonna take that as press the button.
She nods her head.
She's gonna press the button and then turn to Sage.
The floor rumbles and the floor on the side where Sage and Rhea are standing slowly fades away, and there is a book, and there is a staircase going down.
Ah! 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 I could kiss you right now. Yes! Goes. It's down there.
Just upon hearing that, she just goes a full bright red in the face.
Kyrish, you feel disappointment through your bond and just exasperation. And Rhea, you hear a tiny little sag sigh as she just shakes her head back and forth.
Rude.
They are certainly having an interesting time back at the house.
What's at the bottom of the stairs?
You and Rhea go down the stairs.
Korric and Korric at this point are going to return back to the house and just start slowly stirring at Rhea and Sage, being like, "What did you two do? What happened here?"
Rhea and Sage, do you go down the stairs?
Yeah.
Let me quickly check something. Well, quickly check two things, I guess. First thing is, do you have a way to even see down there?
I cast light.
Is it like that works?
Unless we don't need light, unless it's already lit. I don't know what kind of magic Eldritch has in his house.
Was it already lit?
I don't know. You guys didn't say if you're going down the stairs yet or not.
I am!
Yeah.
Sage, you put your foot on the steps, and almost rhythmically, torches begin to light themselves. The staircase goes steep.
That's familiar.
Well,
I'm
let's see
home.
what waits. You're. Let go see what's waiting.
The scene switches back to Kyrish and Korric, who are walking throughout the city. It is quiet. There are a few people here and about. There's some reconstruction going on. And as you walk, I need the two of you to roll me spot checks.
Oh, good lord.
He common.
22.
Nice.
Actually, Kyrish is going to be keeping his eye out for, Darling. 17.
The both of you see a man. More like a teenage boy, but kind of on that,
He's a man boy.
He could be in his 20s, but he could also be like in his late teens. But you see a blonde hair, blue-eyed person walking by. And he looks a little gaunt, a little bit shadowed. His clothes are a little bit in tatters. But this person has the same exact shade of blonde hair and blue eyes as the little boy that you saw that fooled you all the way in Misa.
Korric, does that face look familiar to you, too?
This is the only one who hasn't gotten their memories. No?
No, not memory-wise. We see them around Misa.
I don't remember. No idea what you're talking about.
Oh. Could have faithful. Oh well.
As you walk past, he says, if you just put that brick right on top of that one, that'll actually cement those two in place, right? You can't tell what he's trying to say, but then you see someone else picking up a large 2x4 of wood, and he doesn't look behind him before standing up. And you see this do you warn this guy that he's about to get smacked in the balls?
Do we even have time?
You can. You do have time.
You might want to watch yourself.
Everyone at the work site just kind of stops and looks at you all.
Kyrish is just gonna point down.
They all look down at the guy in the red. Oi, you trying to break my balls or something? And you hear grumbling from the other kid. Well, I ought to knock your lights out. And when you hear him speak, it is an older version from the little boy that you've seen before. Why, thanks, mate. Really appreciate it.
I think at this point, after seeing him for as long as they have, Kyrish is gonna start to piece it together. I have seen that face.
How-
Why?
Are you muttering to yourself or are you saying this out loud?
He's more talking to himself.
The blonde-haired guy kind of tilts his head at you. Don't I know you from somewhere? You look mighty familiar.
Kyrish is gonna freeze. He didn't expect that.
Oh,
He's gonna look very much like a deer in the headlights.
it's his people.
Do you have a sibling?
Nah, I don't. This might sound a bit racist, but you're that, those Illumian folk, right? Up in Misa.
Kyrish just kind of chuckles. Yes. I am Illumian. Quite obviously, and he kind of splays his arms out, just letting his clothing fall away from his hand.
The guy puts his hand up to his chin. Yeah, I do recognize you. You were, I was just a young boy then. But I think you were one of the ones that were trying to hold back those dead people. I'm making him country. Fuck it, he's country now.
He was putting on the fancy accent until he was happy.
You lived in Misa when it happened.
My mom and dad were headed up there. I guess some old ancestor of ours was a Lumian at some point. We were there for the yearly pilgrimage, and I think I was about... And he, like, kind of counts on his fingers. I was about 4 when it happened. And my mom and dad were getting ready to fight, and we saw someone with, they were gold with blue runes around their head. Kind of clothes looking like yours. They went to go help, and they said if I ever ran into trouble to head north. Well, they didn't realize that I didn't know my direction, so I actually ran south instead, so I ended up running back home.
Illumian. 1, you don't look it. 2, I didn't think my people mingled with other races much. Interesting. gods, he tried to use a vestige of my past.
He cocks an eyebrow.
At this
Yo.
point, Kyrish is like lost in thought. He's kind of like staring off into space.
The guy kind of looks sideways. And he kind of lightly taps you on the shoulder.
Oh, sorry. I'm just strange occurrences on the road is all. I see a lot of familiar faces in a lot of different places.
Ain't that the truth? Everyone being misplaced and whatnot? Yeah, I can feel that.
Quite so. Fortunate. But it's good to see that you're alive and well.
Yeah, you too. You know what? And he reaches behind his back and he pulls out, and it is a teddy bear. And this teddy bear has been sewn and re-sewn, but the only thing that hasn't changed is the color of the runes. This little teddy bear's seen me through tough times, but, well, I figured it's a Lumion made, and he's helped me get through some harder times. And he hands it out. Might as well put him to work.
Kirish's jaw drops. This is the same teddy bear that the kid was holding, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking that now it just looks like it's obviously an older condition.
Yeah. Like, you can see the different colored stitchings and different... the bear is a little bit misshapen because of all the sewing that has happened.
I couldn't possibly. This is yours. You held on to it for so long.
You're right, it is mine, and I can do with it what I want. And the thing is I kind of felt it protecting me for a little bit, then I got older, and, well, honestly, it was just a reminder of what I'm fighting for. What I need to stay alive for.
You're a brave man. I will take it. I will see to it that your little friend here sees the world. We travel quite a bit.
Oh, that'd be nice. Have some nice stories to tell, things to see.
Perhaps one day I'll even bring him back.
Hopefully. Maybe even how ironic would it be to do it in Misa? When all this is over.
When all this is over. Then he just takes the bear in his hands and just looks at it. When all this is over. He looks back up at him. Yes. I think I'd very much like to do that. Perhaps even over some very strong ale.
Oh yeah, I can get behind that.
Now he's turning into one of the frog shopkeepers.
God damn it. Oh, by the way, the name's Toonie. And he holds out his hand. And when he says it, you hear in the back of your head, I'm Toonie! From the Visage.
Tiny.
Tierney. Wonderful name. I'm Kyrish. He shakes his hand. This here's Korric. I assume he's somewhere still around.
Hello.
He looks kind of to the side, sees the wolf, and takes a half step back. Hello there, Korric and Korric's wolf.
Soulless.
Ah, Solus, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. He's not gonna eat me, right?
At this point,
Not unless
Kyrish
he
just
wants
rolls
to,
his eyes.
but I doubt it.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. He pats his pockets. And he pulls out a thing of beef jerky. This is all I got, but here you go, buddy. And he tosses up in the air. Do you allow Solus to take the jerky?
Sure.
Solus jumps up, grabs the jerky, and he kind of chews on it a bit, and then slowly he gets a happy dog grin. And he barks happily. Alright, I gotta get back to work before people start getting ants in their pants, because apparently no one knows how to lay bricks correctly. Ugh, my great-great-grandpa would be rolling in his grave right now.
Yes, I'm sure he would. Do have a good one, Tooney. And thank you.
Oh, of course. Catch you later, Kyrish and Korric and Solus. And he's gonna turn around and start hefting bricks.
Kyrish still has a smile up until he turns around and he looks at Korric, and his face instantly switches back over to holy fuck, what was that? I'm not sure if you remember this, Korric, but we've seen that face before. And not so long ago.
No, I don't remember that at all.
When we were passing through Misa. Turkey shit. Decided to use the visage of a child to try and deceive us. But it didn't work. That man right there, that was his visage of that man as a child. Holding this exact bear, and he holds up the teddy bear.
It's interesting.
Interesting, Korric. This is insane. What? It's like he tried to use a memory of my past to try unnerve me. I don't know. I don't know what this man's line of thinking is here. This is all insane. I don't know. All of this just lack of a better way to put it. It's crazy. Korric, I don't understand why he's doing any of this.
You walk down the street as you talk, and the city starts to fade away as you're nearing the entrance, which is marked by the statues of hope. Some people are sitting at various statues, praying, taking a break, but the only one that doesn't have anyone at it is Eldridge's statue, which on either side has a pair of torches.
Well, that's very interesting. Kyrish is going to think better of really asking anyone about it. Because he does want to continue on and get that thing taken care of.
You're looking around to how to get out of the sands, and you see from thin air a dark orange sand start to form, and you see a small platoon with Ishtok at the lead kind of just trudge down, also covered in blood.
Good God. Ishtak really has filled out for being so young. The child's going to be a killer. Well, I mean, he's already a killer, but... You know what I mean, Korric.
I do.
Around them, there is Darling kind of floating around their heads, giving soft caws. And Sage, as you're descending the steps, you feel concern through your bond.
Are they close enough to, not have to shout?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, Ishtak, darling. How go things?
He looks up and he's very tired. He looks exhausted. Friends, much stronger now than before. Big white dragon. Having fun. Friends, still not rested, though. We'll go back after we healed.
Goodness. Yes, make sure you take care of yourself. What's going on out there?
Big, bony dog. And 3 friends outside. Went to lay rest, but Keith showed up with fancy sword. Helped us fight, but don't think he in good head. But
No. He's...
managed to rest one friend all by himself. Much impressed. Then we come and take care of other friend and most of dog.
Most of? You mean that creature's still up there?
Big white dragon having fun. Don't know hunting tactic, but is doing something with big dog.
Amazing that the dragons just haven't obliterated it all. Salty does seem to be younger, but... Anyways, sorry, go get some rest. You more than earned it, I'm sure.
Sort of.
Kyrish just gonna continue, I guess, through the way they came?
Yes. Darling kind of lands on your shoulder and just softly caws.
No, darling. I appreciate you going to go check. Do you think they need help up there?
He nods his head, yes.
Good. We didn't come here for no reason, though. Alright. You going to go back to Sage, or are you going to stick around?
He's going to kind of move his feet from side to side, kind of more heavily than he should, and kind of just like squat down, like he's just gonna sit there.
Alright, suit yourself. Make yourself at home. Let's see what we can do, Korric.
Alright.
You get up, and there is blood everywhere.
I certainly hope this isn't dragon blood.
You walk out of the thingy, and you see one creature that is taller than you, Kyrish, that has very long blood-stained claws. You see the hellhound missing its tail and one of its legs. Part of its skull is gone. You see one of the clawed fiends. One arm is slowly burning against the barrier. Another arm is in between the barrier and the standing blood fiend, or the creature. It's not a blood fiend. And there is the body. Half of it is on the road. Half of it is in the sinking desert. The second fiend is cleanly sliced in two from head down the middle, and that is lying near the second arm. And you see Isolde jumping around with a big dragon smile. Please hold.
I'm over here now. No, now I'm over here. Now I'm up in the air. Now I'm down here. You can't get me because you're too damn slow. Aw, look at you struggle with your 3 legs and half a head. Now I'm over here. Now I'm over here. And that's this.
And she is going to blow ice. And there are icicle shards streamlining in your direction. And they just shatter against the barrier.
Kyrish is gonna call out, Isolde, could you please not play with your prey? At least not when it concerns things that can kill everyone else.
Oh, but there's no one else to play with. You have to consume your energy, Isolde. You have to save your strength, Isolde. These guys have been here since last night, and no one wanted to play with them except for the other little lizards. And they told me not to help. Especially the weird tan-looking one with the scary face.
Well, Isolde, you need to understand, you're a lot bigger than, well, all of us.
I know that. I know better than not to use my ice attack when there's friendlies nearby. And I know not to jump when there's people underneath me. I'm not that stupid.
No, I'm not saying you are. But what happens if someone attacks and you're tired? And then you can't play with them.
Well, of course I couldn't play with them, because they're mean and they would hurt me. And friends don't hurt other friends.
Well, Well, no, I don't mean us. I mean creatures like that. He points to the bone creature.
The bone creature is slowly hobbling towards Isolde. This thing is nearly as big as the sage hounds that you had seen previously, except instead of being made of leaves and vines, this thing is made out of actual skeletons and corpses in various states of decay. And Isolde just kind of just body slams into the ground, creating a small earthquake. Let's see. I need to roll some dice here. Oh. And as she falls on the ground, the three-legged dog tries to keep balance but shifts its weight to the left too much, and that falls on its side. And the bloodstained clawed monster stumbles and falls onto its knees.
You know, I'm sure if Zundus or Eastro wanted to come out and play, no one would have a problem with it, because they're the older siblings, even though we all hatched at the same time. Just because I hatched last doesn't mean I'm the youngest.
That's not true. Isolde, you are quite special all on your own. I mean, what if, say, Doc, well, he kind of corrects himself. Turkey shit, comes at us with someone who is fire-based. Eastrel wouldn't be able to do a thing to them. You, on the other hand, huh?
I guess that's true. I just feel
Yes,
like
I know.
everyone underestimates me because I'm the baby. And oops.
As she says this, little icicles come out of her nostril, kinda going in a downward angle as she does air quotes.
I realize how you feel, Isolde, but we just don't want you getting hurt. That's all. Yes, I know, you're a big bad dragon. But things happen, and you've already been affected once. We don't want it happening again.
That's fair. I'm just so bored. I can't even go out to hunt.
Oh? Who said you couldn't hunt?
Eastro and Zundus, and then I wake up this morning and I see Zundus flying off. If anyone should go hunting, it should be Eastro, because she was here first.
Where did Zundus head off to?
I don't know.
Oh, where's Eastrel?
Down below in the sand sleeping.
Kyrish just kind of like awkwardly looks down. Gosh, is. Could you kindly finish up with that thing? I'd really like to talk to Eastrel.
Okay.
She perks up and she trots over to the dog that is now just starting to get up. And she you see her walk forward, looks down on it.
You're a bad doggy. You hurt others. That's not nice. Now, go sleep.
And she's gonna, as she says, go sleep, she raises up her paw and she brings it down. And there's just a mass of squishing and crunching as the dog's head is crushed. And it stops moving.
Good boy.
Kyrish just looks over to Korric. he just quietly says, "You should write a book. How to train your dragon, eh?"
Would be pretty smart at this point.
Oh shit.
Boo.
At this point, the clawed fiend looks away from the dragon and looks to the barrier. Korric and Kyrish, roll me knowledge local checks.
20.
Okay.
18. Wow.
As
I only
the
have a 2 modifier on.
nice, the fiend turns to look at you. Not only is it taller than Kyrish, but it's also reptilian. And when it snarls, it shows its sharp teeth. And when it goes to turn towards you, you see the faint fabric of black lined with blue. And the more you look at the face, this is the face of one of Ishtak's friends. The ones that that defended the egg when the army attacked.
And this is part of the creature?
No, this is the clawed creature.
Oh, okay.
And you see this and you look at the bodies that are close in proximity, and these are the other 2 of Ishtak's friends. Ishtak had 4 friends, and he only took one of them to Tarn.
They fell while we were away.
We found where we were away, Sage.
Ah! Shut up.
But it makes sense to you why Ishtak was talking like he did. Only one friend needs rest.
I didn't even catch that. Oh god.
Initiatives.
9.
16 for Korric.
Damn. Ooh.
And 22
No, I didn't.
for Solus.
I didn't.
Okay. Kyrish, roll me knowledge. Actually, no. Roll me intelligence.
Knowledge intelligence. Okay.
Still
Sir.
on that too?
Just Kyrish.
Okay.
Name's special. Is 19.
Alright, get to...
It's really hard to see on some of these dice rolls because, like, I'm using my blood spatter ones. So, like, some of the blood spatters are, like, over the letters and I can't fucking read them.
Where? Nope, that's not it. Is this it? This is it. You immediately start thinking of a strategy to fight this thing. And there are also a few of these around the castle, as it is also a first-class level of undead. You know that you need to stay a good distance from it, for those claws can extend up to 20 feet. But it's not the front that you have to worry about. You have to keep an eye on both arms. For if it's distracting you, it can easily do a sneak attack on the side and pierce you through the sides.
Okay.
I thought that was a burp at first.
The battle begins with this fiend. This fiend moves forward and strikes at the barrier almost like nails on a chalkboard, but also the slight burning of it as small little flames come up and start eating at the nails. Isolde just kind of sits down and watches with her head cocked. As the bone claw slashes at the barrier, we go back to the descending steps of the basement. The stairs aren't as steep as you think they are, for it was just the shadows of the torches. And as you cast light,
I'll put one at the very end and then 10 feet closer for everyone.
you cast dancing lights and your little willows fly into the dark. And as they fly, they kind of stay put in midair, illuminating the half of the hallway. But as they fly forward, you notice that they pass a door that's, there's a door about 10 feet to your left, and they illuminate the end of the hallway. But the bottom half of the hallway is unlit.
Fuck. I'll move. Can I move them like close enough to light ahead of us and leave the end of the hall in darkness instead?
I'm fine. Far from this for me.
Sorry, I was thinking about lights. What?
Oh no, because you're on about lights as well. I'm oddly fine with this. Elves, we have low light vision.
Well, that's good because I have. I need light to see.
Oh, that's the thing. Given that we do have these, which are given off a certain level of light, just look ahead and see how far you can see.
Mm-hmm.
I can see twice as far.
Well,
Dragging a little bit, but it also is going to help with this. So what are we expecting down here anyway?
honestly, no idea. Let's go. And I just immediately go to the first door on the left.
Adventure it is, I guess.
It is a wooden door with 2 bull rings on either side of the door.
Is it unlocked?
I don't know, is it?
I asked because Sage is trying to open it.
Okay, you didn't say that. You just said you're going to go to the door. You tug on it, and it takes a little bit. The hinges squeak, but eventually they give, and the door swings open. And you see training dummies. Very heavily used training dummies. There are scorch marks, burns, evidence of magicry, and there's actually some that have scratches, chunks taken out of them.
I'm gonna walk in and take the orbs with me. I'll leave like 2 of them in the hallway and take 2 of them inside. Keep them all within the 10 feet.
This looks more up my alley, but... Oh, wait. Burn marks... Like, were these training puppies for spells?
What, you thought we just automatically knew how to aim a fireball?
I mean, I thought it was pretty much like a crossbow. You just point and fire.
You have to aim a crossbow too, Rhea.
Yes, but I thought the whole point of that was just aim and fire. Didn't
Well,
realize you had to get...
Fireball has a pretty good area of effect, but something like the lightning bolt, you really need to learn how to aim.
That's fair.
I don't know, Choco, is this a room that Sage would remember now that she's got her memories back?
Yes, you remember only one person was allowed in here at a time. For you remember your first offensive spell clearly missing its target and hitting the wall.
I'll go touch the burn mark that left. Yeah, this was the first spell I cast. The first offensive spell, at least. Oh, I begged Eldridge to let me try it. Weeks and weeks and weeks of teach me something to fight. I'm tired of just cleaning. I was convinced that as soon as I set it off, it would be like breathing. I'd hit the mark and that would be it, and everybody would see that I was going to be the next greatest wizard.
Lux tucks her face into your collar, Rhea, and you hear more hissing laughter. And throughout your fight, Kyrish, you feel great amusement through your bond.
Stop! Stop! Oh.
Lovely.
I think Sage will do a quick tour around the room, make sure there's nothing out of place or seems off.
You finish going around the room. I'm assuming your little orbs come with you, follow you in a line of
Yeah.
10 feet.
It's just a little conga line behind Sage.
You know, conga lines of purple lighty orbs. And there's nothing out of place here.
I'm gonna try the door up here on the right, or on the top.
There is no door. I actually
that's
went
not a
to...
door?
Yeah, the door
Might
is
be.
going to be these really obvious
Big ones?
ones. Yeah.
Cool.
This is like investigating. Rhea just kind of mutters out. Is it weird to think I was expecting to be arrested today?
Lux,
Sage like looks over like what?
Lux perks up and kind of gives you a what the fuck face, and Kyrish, through your bond, you feel surprise and what the fuck?
Kyrish is just gonna slowly say to himself, "The fuck?"
Darling looks at you.
When we get back.
Darling looks at you confused, and Sage, through your bond, you feel confusion.
Well, I killed the princess, didn't I? Or, I mean, she asked me to, but I don't know. Seeing how the villagers were when we exposed the king, I was expecting them to be baying for blood once they found out. So they either don't know yet, or I don't know. That's why I made breakfast for you all earlier. Thought this might actually have been my last day with you all.
Nice to know that it was an act of sentiment and not just general kindness.
Oh,
Sage
there's
says,
general kindness
teasing.
as well. There's general kindness as well. Just I don't know. I just got too much on my mind lately.
Rhea, why is it that you're constantly looking for a hill to die on?
Pot and kettle.
If you asked me that some time back, I might not have known. thing. My mind's been a bit clearer recently. She's just gonna rest a hand on one of the training dogs. She's just investigating it over, then just sigh. All this time I thought I were doing it for Ilya, for Annie, for... She shouts up. I think I'm doing it for you, Sage.
You're looking for a hill to die on for me?
Not a hill to die on. Keep you safe and protect.
There's confusion on Sage's face, quickly followed by a look of, what, I can't protect myself? Quickly followed by fondness.
Kyrish,
And a look that says, oh, you ridiculous person whom I love.
It's kind of that...
Kyrish, through you bond, you feel, ooh.
I've noticed path you're going down. I don't think I'm the only self-destructive one here, Sage.
The fondness disappears into a, oh, this again.
Look,
Lux's head is... Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not going to lecture you like Kyrish would or anything like that. That would be... Well, I can't really talk there with that, given pointed out how self-destructive I am. Maybe it's... I should just look to Sage with a bit of a blush. We're just too similar.
Sage is not frequently at a loss for words, but you see her definitely like start a sentence and stop it and try again, and she eventually just shakes her head and is smiling, but also just it's a lot to read on one person's face.
I know I'm not helping here. Sorry. Speaking out of turn.
You're
That's-
not. You're fine. You're all sorts of amazing.
Yes, but
I'm not self-destructive. I'm just focused.
Lux gives you a look like, no, you absolutely didn't. And Lux looks at you, Rhea, with a, do you believe this shit type of look?
this is where just out of pure spite, Lux learns how to speak common.
But
I know, it's just...
And maybe you're the same way. I worry about how reckless you can be, but maybe we are just similar.
I had a talk with Riku last night about the situation with me and Henny. She brought to light some things I never thought about before.
Oh?
If Henny really cared for me and loved me that much, wouldn't she have come along?
Sometimes it's not someone's place to come.
That's what I said. It still brought something to light. Throughout all this, Henny's not been the one by my side helping me. You have.
I've avoided
Maybe-
this for her sake. I don't want to cause you problems in your life.
But Sage, deep down in the small back of your, a small voice in the back of your head that isn't darling says, but I want to.
Yeah, no, Sage knows that voice.
I think this is probably not the best to talk about this. Just got your memories back. There's the whole Cleo situation still.
That's not a problem.
Lux will just sigh exasperatedly and just completely go limp over Rhea's shoulder. So her head is over Rhea's, the front of Rhea, and her tail is hanging in the back. And
Great,
she
you
is
killed the
slowly,
snake.
and Lux is slowly like tapping her head against Rhea's chest, like a person banging their head up against a wall.
Cleo is dead, I think. And I don't know where Annie is. If it weren't for my concerns about your own past, I wouldn't feel bad about doing this. And I'm gonna kiss her.
Quite
Oh!
literally Rhea's reaction to that. Just like Rhea just goes bright red from this.
Yeah, it's not long.
And
It's not intense. It's just
Oh no, it's the mixture of shock before acceptance and just leans in with it. And then just as it's broken, it's like, well, that happened.
Through your bond,
looks down,
Kyrish.
bright red.
So that's what we were finding in the basement.
Kyrish,
Plenty more to find.
you're through your bond, you feel excitement, satisfaction, and finally!
Kyrish just pauses mid-battle. He's like, God, it finally happened.
Darling kind of like hops to the side and like cocks his head over and looking at you. Like, you gonna tell me?
Oh, don't lie to me. The emotional bond totally goes two ways.
Darling is like excitedly hopping on Kirish's shoulder.
Sage immediately, by the way, books it out of the room and it's like, okay, next room.
Kyrish is like, I just
Can't believe I
wanna
fucking
get
did
it out
that.
of their system
Can
already.
I quickly try something?
Uh-oh.
As you're going to book it out the room, Sage,
Mm-hmm.
Rhea's going to try and place a hand on your shoulder.
Reflex.
Let's see, what's my reflex bonus? Is that for both of us or just for me?
Just for you, because Sage doesn't know what's coming.
Okay. So that's a 16 on the dice, plus 11. 27.
Yeah, I say that you grab her shoulder.
It's not like a hard one. It's just like a reassuring one. Sage. I didn't get to say it to you proper last time. Let me at least say it now.
She's shaking a bit.
Paige, I love you.
Aww.
I think Sage just reaches up to the hand on her shoulder and just gently takes it down to waist level and goes, without looking, gives it a squeeze. I love you too.
Oh!
And I'll lead her out of the room to the next one.
How to successfully kill your DM in 2 simple lines.
Oh, oh, this is so sweet. I finally get to do what Sage does all the time. Oh. So, the two of you move out with your little conga line of lights. Where do you shoot them next?
Next
this
room
way,
up on the left.
Yep. This one.
All right.
Yeah.
You
Uh.
get to the door and you open it. And one little
Amazing.
purple light. One little purple light stays at the door. You open it. And your little willows start to fall in line.
Oh, and when they get back, we're going to keep hush hush on this just to tease the shit out of them both.
I don't think Sage has stopped being like flushed and hot and embarrassed yet. So absolutely has no response except for, oh god, I hope they don't find out.
Why?
They can't know that I have emotions.
Fair. I won't say anything you want. I mean,
I'll see if I can resist bragging.
I don't know if Kyrish will be able to know straight away or not. Korric?
Ah, fuck, Lux. I look at the snake.
Lux just waves a tail.
Oh. Have you told Kyrish?
She just kind of looks at you and tilts her head like, and points to her mouth and shakes her
That's right.
head. She kind of like takes
If
her
you let a
tail.
word of this get out before either of us say anything, that's an open threat.
Lux
know it's
will
good.
evilly snake smile and brings her tail up in front of her face and curls it towards her like a come get me.
All I know it is a good job we kept quiet with that, because I think Bert's still in the house.
It's a kiss. It's not gonna get loud. Yeah, walks into the room.
I meant the talking beforehand or afterwards, but can a kiss get loud? I know Korric would be the one to answer that, and I'm too scared to ask that question towards it.
Sage under her breath. We could find out.
Listen check.
I was about to say you do realize you're saying this to the elf. The person that quite literally gets plus 12 to their listen.
Oh my god!
Do you know what the funniest part is? I rolled a 2 on the dice, so that's a 14.
You hear we can, and the rest of it is Sage mumbles.
You can what?
What's in this room?
What is in this room?
You look around, and Sage, there are some bookshelves packed tightly yet neatly and also labeled up against the wall. And there is a long, wide table, cleaned, but used. And then there's a smaller table next to it. You're standing right beside it. And it's also clean and worn, but what's also clean is the metal tray that's up top. It's covered in dust, though, because it hasn't been used in a while. And there's surgical tools. Sage, roll a will save.
Uh-oh.
I'm having the happiest time of my... I'm sad now.
Okay, we'll save with advantage.
Okay. Oh god.
The power of kisses.
Oh, I have a good will save because it was a 3 and a 4. So that's a 4 plus 9 is 13.
For an instant, the room flashes to that of the castle of the operating room where there was blood everywhere, the note from the one servant. And it goes back again to the room you're currently at with Rhea. And you don't get that feeling of foreboding like you did in the other room.
I think Sage's like good humor immediately falls away, and like she doesn't touch the surgical tools, but her hand like floats over them, and then across the table.
Are you okay?
This is something with Rune used, I'm sure. It looked a bit like something I saw in his castle. Covered in blood.
I got lied when I first saw this when I walked in. Thought it would go be just another library, but now you're pointing it out.
What are the
Does look like
books?
some of the medical areas.
What are the topics of the books here?
Some of them you can't read, but what you can make out is Oddly, some of the same exact books that Riku had. Copies of what you have in your possession. There's the copies of the anatomy books, but it doesn't just go from elves, humanoids, and lizards. There's races you haven't even heard of. Anatomy of the... You question yourself, what the hell is a Koatoa and what the hell is a Bukin? You see that there's an anatomy on Illumians. And you see smaller books that are containing other races. Others, you see a copy of the curses, diseases, and poisons. You see some handbound books. And you notice one of the handbound books is written in Eldridge's hand.
I pull out that one.
It's untitled, but it just simply says notes. And you open it up, and it begins. I figured my studies would actually pay off. I went to the City of Gods and asked some of the healers there about their techniques. None of them knew a lick of physical medicine, except for one. She was quite young, yes, but quite knowledgeable in the way of physical medicine. I've asked her over to teach me some of her techniques, so that way, not only could I do healing, but also some physical as well. Might also start teaching some of the Glen clerics here as well. Could do with all the fights we've had to have. And after you flip, you don't understand some of the technical terms that are being used, but there are very intricate drawings. And there is a list of procedures, results, common errors, what could go wrong. But it is not written in Eldridge's hand.
Mithrin's hand?
Nope. You don't know this hand.
I'm gonna tuck that one away. I'm gonna come back to that. Do I get the sense that this was a room used to study medicine, necromancy, or both?
You don't get an ucky feeling at all. This was strictly used for medicine.
Okay. Not Mithrin then.
I like to think that Sage's process of this is like looks over the books very intently, pulls one out, flips through it, mutters a bit, tucks it away, and goes, not necromancy, just medicine.
As a relief, at least.
Yeah, Eldridge was very smart.
Do you think he may have manipulated Eldridge's chinks from this? Like taken what Eldridge learned and repurposed it for his own wants.
That's sort of impossible. Wouldn't surprise me, actually. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me one bit. But
Maybe
Eldridge
that's-
was a good man.
Maybe Eldridge found out about it. That's what the dress is about. It's something he wanted to keep out of his hands.
Sage kind of rubs at her neck.
and thinks back to his interruption. Eldridge's interruption, rather. He definitely knew more than I did about Mithrin. I was a fool to trust him. Mithrin, I mean. He killed Eldridge, eventually. But my ignorance hastened the process.
Blame yourself too much for it. You never know how someone truly is until you trust them.
Sage, you see like 3 or 4 complete thoughts pass over Sage's face. And she nods. And goes to leave the room.
Guessing there's nothing else in here?
If there is, we can come back, but I don't like medical stuff. It's interesting, but not something I want hands-on experience with. Rubs up the
Weird to-
wrist.
It's weird to look at when I think about it. I've only really been in one of these places once before. But there were none of these kind of surgical tools or anything. It were more herbs, bells, and gifts from the forest.
You mean
When
in your home?
the elder locked Flibble away in my mind.
This is... I grew up in an apothecary. I don't know if I told you that. You might have surmised it. I don't.
Oh,
My
I saw the
father wasn't-
garden and the herbs, but
Yeah, my father was an herbalist, and you know, the names of my siblings kind of gave it away too, I guess.
yeah,
Yes, this is a very scientific and logical form of medicine. Yeah, when I think back, I can remember using some of it in my designs, in my plans for the spellbook.
certainly see some of it playing in. As the gods themselves said all that time back. Using your own skin as a spellbook. Never really anything that's been done before. You're a pioneer, Sage.
She seems like pleased with that, but also a little haunted. I don't know if I would recommend it for anybody else.
I mean, I can definitely see one downside to it, but
Oh,
let's not talk about grim stuff while we're in here.
right. Moving on. And we'll leave the room and go to the next one. And
Sage, this is a big door.
yeah, one thing I don't appreciate about getting my memories back is the full remembrance of. Kind of holds out the arms. Took a couple of days. It really hurt.
Most tattoos do, that's why I never got any. It's weird to say. A warrior such as me, one who's taken so much damage in fights and has tanked the brutalest of hits. Not a fan of needles.
I think that's both the funniest and the most endearing thing you've ever said.
That's why I don't have piercings either.
Oh, you'll face down an army. Someone with a blade. Anything except a needle.
Lux
yeah,
just hiss
absolutely.
laughs.
A blade I can block, a blade I can parry. A blade I can smash. A needle? You don't see him coming, that's so small and thin.
Well, usually when needles are involved, you're not trying to dodge.
Oh, I am. Absolutely.
Lux,
I'm just gonna. So he just like tries the door.
it's awfully heavy, and Lux will kind of poke Rhea on the shoulder and kind of tilt her head back to another small door.
Isn't there a smaller door up there if we want to check it out before it's a large one?
Oh,
So
I
if it
couldn't
tells
get
me
that.
as soon as we open. Oh, what's that?
I probably gonna need you to open that one. So let's go to the smaller one first.
Yeah. So if it tells me as soon as we open up this loud one, it's going to attract everyone in a 5-mile radius.
You open this door, and your lights follow through.
Go orbs.
You get into this room, and your orbs kind of fall into place, and Sage, you remember this room fondly, for this is the ceremonial room for when any student of Eldridge's gets promoted from apprentice to green aura to adept, and then finally wizard.
This is my kind of room.
You remember when you went into this room, all the seats were filled. From Eldridge's own teachers, his older students, Kyrish and Mithrun in the front row, and Eldridge waiting for you, sitting in his chair.
Never let it be said that wizards don't have a flair for the dramatic. This is where
I
we
thought
recognized our own.
Wizards all had a flair for the dramatic.
I'm pretty sure it's in the job description. Along with a blinding arrogance. And
I
a
love
love
for
for books.
books. He just looks at the just said the same one at the same time. Oh dear God, we're already on the same sync as each other.
This is a good place. I hope it sees other apprentices.
When we finished the war, brought peace to these lands. And once people get to the ages where they stop to adventure, pretty sure there'll be much to be done.
It's a bit
That
of
is,
a.
if you ever stop adventuring anyway.
I think I'll have had my fill by the end of it. Though I'm reticent to teach more people what I know. Mithrun wouldn't be the danger he is if he hadn't been taught.
Do you know I'm a bit of a rarity, like my family-wise? Earlier,
What do you mean?
elves are naturally magical creatures.
Mm-hmm.
My family, not a lick of it in the bloodline.
No?
Nope. Oh, we were warriors. Well, and a few blacksmiths here and there, but generally all of us, when we came to age, we'd train up to take part in the guards. Make something of our lives outside of contemplating what we don't have, what the others had.
You've done your family proud.
Apparently they're still alive, so I hope so.
We'll have to go see them.
It's weird. Before today, I was afraid of going back to Eliav.
Because you thought you were gonna die to some angry goulins.
Because of any.
Oh.
I think I'm fine with going back now. got nothing to hide. She's gonna walk over to the throne, just kind of rest her hand on it. So, and you graduated? You come here?
Yeah.
And Kyrish just... Go on.
What? Kyrish came through too. Don't actually know if he's a full wizard. On the official title of things. I didn't do most of my study with him. Eldridge brought me here when I was 12. Thought he was gonna kill me. I burned down half of my parents' shop with a fireball when I pickpocketed his book and tried to read it.
I
They
mean,
were
to be
irate.
fair, from first glance, like large throne and all this kind of stuff, I can get how a kid would probably see this as more like a sacrificial room, but someone a bit older, it definitely has an air of authority.
Instead, he made me an apprentice. If I do teach, I want to do it like that. Maybe with less, oh god, am I gonna die? And more. But you get the point. Take
I
those
do.
kids who wouldn't have a chance otherwise. I might tone down the throne, though. That's a lot.
I don't know, it looks comfy. Like,
On a
dusty,
whim,
sure, but
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Nothing.
it's a throne of comfort +5. One of those ones where you sit in it, you just think.
There is
Come
nothing
on, let's go
magical
check
in
out the
this
other
room.
Let's go check out the big room while I still got this Detect Magic spell up.
Alright. I'm still curious as what kind of room needs a door this large.
Well, you're gonna have to be the one to open it and find out.
She'll crack her knuckles and she'll try and open.
The door doesn't open outward. Instead, when you start to pull it towards you, you feel the entire door start to come towards your way.
Oh, stand back. It feels like it's pulls upwards or lifts upwards. Tilts. She'll just like try all the right angles to like push, pull, lift kind of thing until she finds
Slide.
which way it wants to go.
As you're
slide.
fiddling with the door, Lux will crawl down and goes back to the graduation room.
Oh god, I just realised what this room is with this large door and the potential for it sliding. It's the friggin' meat locker room from the first Saw film.
Oh my god.
Da-da-da.
And as you begin to lift it, it starts to go up. And your little orbs go through it. And Rhea, you manage to get the door fully up. And the scene goes back to Keith. Now out of his shower. Still looks like hell. And walks out.
Poor guy.
Looks at the study, sees the open staircase. And without a shred of emotion, exits out the door. Holds the elven blade in his hand. And starts making his way back to the surface. Meanwhile, as he passes by, he wordlessly looks in the destroyed buildings, avoids the people, And he gets to the statues, looks to the palace. The people around the statues shuffle nervously around him. And he climbs the stairs and sees the clawed fiend scratching at the barrier with Kyrish and Korric ready for battle. He looks at the blade. He puts it in the sheath. He begins to walk forward. What was everybody's favorite part of the episode?
I mean, are we done already?
Yep.
And do you even have to ask?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't
Like
have to go first.
As much as it is a bit of a cheap thing to say, given it involved my character and such, it's been built up so much. So, Sage and Rhea, it has to be.
I'm so glad I got to make the first official move.
Sage there, seeing that Rhea was about to do it any second. I'm about to do it.
No, I do first.
You don't get wizard.
A wizard who always makes the first move. The only one that can make a first move before that is a bard. And Korric.
I was gonna say, in this case, it's Korric.
But yeah, just that whole scene just made me happy.
Kyrish, what was your favorite part of the episode?
All the back and forth emotions between the switched
Familiars.
familiars. Thank
Switch familiars is a funny ass thing, and it happened organically too. So
you. Yeah, it just kind of happened. You're like, you know what? Fine, cool, let's do it.
Kyrish is just gonna get back, and as soon as he sees Rhea and Sage, he's just gonna have that like smug cat look on his face.
He's just gonna come in the door with like this
He always
stupid ass
does.
grin.
he always does.
Not gonna say a word, just gonna come in smiling. How was your day?
Shut the fuck up. It reminds me of like when your brother knows that you've like finally had a date or something, and they come in all smug about it. You're like, just fuck off, Brian. I don't know. It's always been a very sibling dynamic for me between Sage and Kyrish.
I mean, yeah, they were brought up under the same master. It makes absolute sense.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
I think my favorite part is I finally got to nerd out like Sage does and do like little side commentary. Like that's my favorite part of every episode is Sage going like, oh, or yes, or something side commentary. I absolutely love
Sorry.
it. No, don't apologize because I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm just excited that I finally got to do it. It was my turn to finally do the Oz or the side commentary.
5 sessions later, I think we should see other people.
Oh my god. Oh no! Lux is gonna have so much to tell Kyrish.
Oh god, we're just gonna hear gossip.
Thank you all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, leave a like down below. Comment on what your favorite part of the episode was. Don't forget to scratch that subscribe button and peck the bell so you know when the next adventure comes out. Will Kyrish and Korric defeat the Clawed Fiend? What will Sage and Rhea see in the big wooden door? We all hope you're having a great one, and we will see you next time. Whee!
Bam,
Bye.
bam. Bye.
Bye.
DMobo out.